What's up? This is Jordan Gray from Half Lit and Dope Living TV.
Yo, this is Tony Terry, and you're watching Dope Living TV.
Hey, what's up, y'all? This is your boy Jason Weaver, and whenever I'm back home in the Chi, I'm checking out Dope Living TV.
What's up? We watching Dope Living TV. What you watching?
Yo, welcome to Dope Living TV. Dope Living TV. Dope Living TV. We got it all. Come and see. Yeah. Let's see. Dope Living TV. Dope Living TV. Yeah. Check us out. Come and see.
What's up? It's your boy Greg Gray. This is Dope Living TV Live. Let's start off by saying the views that are expressed on this Dope Living TV Live are not necessarily the views of Dope Living TV or its affiliates. Man, we're going to have a great show today. We have an entrepreneur. We have a lady, man, here who is, man, she is perfect, a perfect example of if I see it and I can do it, I'm going to do it. Okay? I mean, she's an author. She's a mentor to a lot of young women. She's an entrepreneur. She's also just now transforming herself. And she's a real estate agent, just got a real estate license. She's a real estate broker. But the thing with what she's doing, okay, and this is so amazing, is that she takes real estate to a different level. All right, everybody buys a house, they look inside, and this lady can literally transform what you see. It's like the before and after, you know what I'm saying? I got a lot of pictures. We're going to show you exactly what's going on with that. But before we do that, man, look, tomorrow we're going to talk about a very serious subject. We went through COVID, and now there's this Hanta virus thingy going on, and we'll talk about that. What are we to do? They say that it's not anything to worry about, but why wouldn't we worry about it? It's a virus. Something else is going on, okay? You know, and at the end of the day, man, we need to get a relationship with God, period. Everybody needs to get a relationship with God. Make sure that you have a great relationship with God. I'm not just saying that's going to protect all the time, but it soothes your soul. At least you know, hey, whatever happens, it's in his hands, okay? He knows everything. Having said that, again, this lady, number one, great friend. She's been on the show before as an author, all right? But she stepped outside. She's still an author. Never going to change, but she stepped outside. You know, you ever have I'm going to talk to her about it, okay? Everybody say what's up to Miss Shana Jenkins. You know, Shana?
Hey, y'all. Hey, Greg. Thank you for having me.
No, I know it's short notice, you know, but I was thinking, you know, I wanted to get you on, and I should have, you know, again, gave you more notice, but I wanted to get you on because what you do is interesting. Now, and we're going to talk about that. Basically, the crux of this show is going to be about the real estate and what you do for these people who enlist your services for their new homes that they're getting, and the old homes as well, okay? But first of all, you know, tell us why you wanted to do this, why you wanted to change the trajectory of what you're doing and get into this interior decorating. And I won't even call it interior decorating. You're doing a lot more than that. Tell us about it.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, I can't thank you. I appreciate the short notice because I know I love to live by the seam of my pants anyway. So it was like, okay, now I got a reason to get out and talk about what I'm supposed to be talking about. So for those who don't know, my name is Shana Jenkins. I am the principal designer and founder of A Stiletto Decor Interiors, where I don't just decorate rooms, but I create bold statement-making interiors that allow people to function beautifully in their everyday life. So what that means is I don't just take a room and decorate it, throw a couple pillows and accessories, but I really transform it so that not only does it look good, but you can also function in it from day to day. You know, you can live comfortably, you can live peaceably. I was just telling somebody earlier today that she was asking, she said she had a lot of stuff in her home. I said, well, you got to declutter. You have to get rid of stuff so you can think clearly, you know, so when you think clearly, you can go out and function and do what God has called you to do in life. And that starts not only on your inside of your person, but inside of your house. And so I really just believe in, starting from the inside out. And with my clients, as far as like interior design, getting my real estate license and transitioning into being a designer agent, what that means is if you are selling your home, but you still have things in your property, I make it look good because people want to come in and they want to visualize themselves in the space that they're going to potentially be taking possession of. And so you have to make it look good. They don't want to see, the clutter or things that you may not be able to get rid of right away. We dress it up and we make it appeal to people so they can potentially see themselves in that home. For those who have, if you are a buyer and you want to go see a property, I help you visualize how you will actually be able to utilize that space. Everybody's not visual, so they can't see it, You can come in. Some people walk into an empty space and it's just that, and they get turned off or discouraged because they can't see themselves living in that space. So I bring a room to life.
Mm-hmm. So you made a great point, because a lot of people are going out there and buying these houses, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You sell the house, you give them the option of turning it into a home. All right. And there's a huge difference. There's a huge difference in getting a house and getting a home. A home is you. It's what you feel. It's the presence of you. You put your heart into it. Okay? And if they got somebody like you that says, okay, well, look, this is what I see. You're like a fortune teller. This is what I see. Okay.
Yeah.
And I think this will work for you. Let's look at some examples, really, okay? Because I got a man. Look, I was looking at. That's the clutter, right?
That's the clutter.
That's the clutter. Think about it, y'all. This is when people move. This is what they do. Even when they're not moving, this is how they are as time goes on, right?
Yeah.
So,
and with that particular home, the young lady who owned the home, she has a brick and mortar. She has a med spa, and her son was living at home, and then he went away to college. So he threw all his stuff, in that office. Kids go away to college. They always come home. And at first it was his bedroom. Then it was the guest bedroom. Then it became storage. And she's like, I'm traveling 45 minutes every day, close to an hour to get to my spa so I can work with my clients. I need some place inside my home that I can work. That's not my bedroom. That's not my kitchen table. What can you do for me?
Mm-hmm. And let's see here. I got a gang of pictures here. Hold on. Gang, I'm glad you sent them. Let's go here. Explain this.
So that's that. So this is the room that went from the guest bedroom, son's bedroom, to the storage room. We took this space and we created her home office. I don't believe in working in your bed. I feel like when you go to bed, that should be your place of rest. I don't believe in working where you eat. You need a space designated for you to work and build business and then shut it off. And so this is the room that we transformed into her home office.
Man, look at that. Now look again, guys. Bam, bam. And bam, bam. Okay. It's a huge difference. What do you think of when you go into that room? When you go into this room right here, what's your thoughts? What's your thought process as to trying to transform that room?
I go like this. Yes, I got a project. Like I get excited. Like I can't wait to move this. I can't wait to throw this stuff out. I can't believe, these colors, pink is pretty, but it's a little dull and dated, like how can we, and she's a luxury spa owner. So she needed something, she needs to feel luxury. She wanted to represent luxury. She needs to be high end. So I said, let's upgrade this room. Let's make it yours. Let's remove the traces of your son and your mama, whoever else used to come and stay in this room, and let's make it yours. And
that's what you did. I mean, this is beautiful. I mean, I wish I could do this. Now see, and there's a lesson in there as well. D&K Soul Food. Well, I'm gonna let that run. That's Gina's thing. But there's a lesson in all of this. All right. I'm quite sure this wasn't, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, this wasn't what you really set out to do. You may have thought about this, but this wasn't what you really set out to do, was it?
As far as that home office, or what do you mean?
As far as the career.
Yes and no. I feel like, so I went to Eastern Illinois University. I got my bachelor's in fashion merchandising. So at one point I was going to be a fashion designer. I was going to live in New York. I had a teacher that kind of, turned me off from that. But when I was living, I had roommates and we were living together, and I would always just rearrange the furniture. Like every time they came home from class or whatever, like it was a new setup, it was some new pillows. And somebody mentioned to me, like, why don't you do interior design? And at that time, I didn't really know it was a thing. And so I started looking it up and I'm like, oh, like I can make a career out of it. So I started selling furniture for like 15 years. I did custom window treatments. And so it kind of just was like a business that built itself. So I didn't initially set out to do it. But what I'm grateful is with having my bachelor's degree in fashion merchandising, we had to learn about fabrics and textiles and the different, different design styles from, old world traditional. So a lot of that actually tied into interior design. So when I started studying interior design, I was already halfway there. And I stayed on that path because I loved it. Like it made me happy and it made my clients happy. I'm a creative. I love to make people happy. I believe in internal beauty. I believe in being free. And I feel like when I'm creating or when I'm designing, it gives me the opportunity to do that. So I'm fulfilled and I'm fulfilling a need or a desire or passion for my clients. So it was a win-win.
Absolutely. Everybody say what's up to Gina. What's going on, Gina?
Hey, Shana.
How are you?
I'm good.
Gina, we're talking to the lovely Shana Jenkins, and we're talking about her real estate brokerage and her interior design business. All right, and we looked at a couple of decor. We looked at a couple of pictures, Gina, and I'm going to repeat these pictures real quick. Now, Gina, that's the before, right?
Mm-hmm.
Look at that after.
That's not the after, Greg. Don't do me like that.
I know it ain't the after. You do.
I'm like, you gotta sign up. Don't do me like that.
I'm like, I done seen her work, and she has
talked about it, but you ruined it for me, Farron.
Hey, Farron.
I was gonna play this off real good, man.
But anyway,
my name's on the line. I'm like, you're gonna have people logging off right now. Don't do that to me.
No, I won't have them logging off. I'm gonna have them like saying, "Hey, man, if she could do that, I wonder if she could do this and blah blah blah." That's what this is for, okay? But check this out.
Okay.
Explain this one.
So this is the after of the room that you just saw. We took out that furniture, we got rid of it, and we just, we updated. We freshened up the paint, we changed out the lighting because lighting makes a big difference. Now, what she did say is because this space was previously a guest room, she wanted it to still be able to house someone if they came to stay the night. So that sofa, that little love seat that you see in the back under that picture, that actually converts to a let out twin sleeper. And so during the day, she can be in her office, she can work. It looks good. If she has, guests, they can come and sit down and talk. But if she just happens to have someone who stays overnight, that actually lets out into a sleeper that they can sleep on. And it's perfectly comfortable for a night or two. It is not something that you're going to come in here and, make her house your home. So it's just enough to get you a couple nights to stay, but then uncomfortable because it's a little small space that at some point you got to go home so she can get back to work.
It doesn't even look like the same room.
I know, right? I believe that. And she felt like that too, just upgrade it. And I just, we talked about her colors. So we brought her brand colors for her spa into the space. But when she said luxury, like when I think luxury, I think of, rich golds and warm tones and, bright colors. And we wanted to make it look upscale, very high end. We didn't want to do like just turquoise and teal. We don't want it to look basics. We wanted to elevate the space a little bit. So she can still feel like she's in her luxury spot, even though she's in the comfort of her own home. So we got some window treatments. We, ordered all the furniture and put it together. She helped put it together on that particular project. I do try to bring people in or hire people in to help put stuff together because my coach, Rachel L. Gary, told me I need to stop. But, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. And we got it done and we did it. And I think we had like maybe 6 weeks to do it. So about, ordering all the furniture, getting the contractors, getting the room repainted, we were able to get it done. And she was very happy.
So instead, you said that when you walk in the room, you'll be like, I got a job. Okay. But once you get past that excitement of having that job, you got to get the room right, okay? And that's what I'm talking about. What's your process, okay? Because you're looking at this room. It's a mess. Walls need painting, everything in this and out, okay? What's your first step?
First step is to declutter. While you getting rid of all the stuff that you don't need, I think that is a big issue for a lot of people. Sometimes we tend to hoard, we collect stuff. We don't ever want to get rid of things. And that's the first step. Before I can even do anything in this room, you got to get rid of what you don't need. And so what that does is hold the client accountable. Like, because if you really want this done, you have to do some work too. It's not just all me coming in here. So that gives them the opportunity to go through and see what they need and what they don't need and get rid of it. Then we do it depends on how we meet. You know, we may start off with a 15-minute consultation, just seeing if, you know, it's a great fit for us working together, because there are some clients that, you know, our personalities don't mesh well with. And not only is it going to ruin the experience for me, it's going to ruin the experience for you, because we bump heads. And I do not like confrontation. I'm a very peaceful person. I like my work to be peaceful. And if we can't get along in that 15 minutes, then, you know, I'm going to say, like, I don't think this is a great fit. So if it's a good fit, we schedule the in-home consultation. In-home consultation is where I come out. I'm actually assessing the space. I'm taking measurements of every wall, measuring the windows. And that's the difference. A lot of times, some people say decorating is the same thing as designing. There is a difference. You know, a decorator can come in and, you know, assess the space, put pillows, pick a color palette. But I, with my background in furniture sales and custom window treatments with 3-day blinds, I'm going to measure, you know, every detail of the window, every inch of the room, so I can see where we got corners, where we have outlets, you know, where we can do our plug ups, and make sure that the furniture fits in the space. And that takes about an hour and a half. Then I go back to the lab and I do my magic. You know, I'm sourcing the furniture. I am, you know, with my measurements, I'm making sure that your furniture fits. So a lot of times people order furniture and they go out, or they just buy it because it looks good. They can't get it downstairs. They can't get it in the doorways. You know, they can't get it around corners. And so with hiring a designer, I come in and say, well, let's measure your space and let's measure this piece that you're looking at, and we can figure out if you can even get it in the home, you know. So that's what I'm doing when I'm putting it together. You tell me what your budget is. Your budget tells me which furniture stores I can shop in. You know, I started out in high-end interior design at Walter E. Smith. For those of you who are in Illinois, Walter E. Smith, and they have one in Indiana as well. But
yes, Maryville.
Yeah, they have, you know, that's why I started.
My mom's house is furnished with their furniture. She loved that place.
Beautiful, right? But everybody can't, you know, it's higher end, it's luxury, it's custom furniture, so everybody can't do that. So, you know, I figure out, you know, what's your budget. I've worked at Ashley Furniture. I have connections at Bob's Discount. You know, we can go anywhere and we can build your room. You know, the furniture in that space we got off of Amazon and Wayfair. So I'm really just making sure that the furniture that we get is within the budget and can fit in your home. I put it all together for you, and then I invite you back into, yes, Gina, raise your hand. Go for it. I'm like, stop me.
I want to know, because I'm seeing your cousin's, what she's saying. Do you ever, or would you consider flying out of state to decorate, or to, you know, do your decor?
Absolutely. Fly me out. Yes, absolutely. Hey, Debbie, that's my cousin from Buffalo. I absolutely would love to do it. I would love to. And even to answer Greg's question earlier, you know, how did I get from just decorating, you know, residential homes, and why did I go into real estate? Because I want to expand. You know, I can do residential homes here and there, but real estate puts me in the arena to meet people who may have a house in Florida, you know, and they want to fly somebody out, or, you know, in Buffalo or whatever. So I absolutely would love to travel. And that builds my inspiration. You know, I can see how other people live, see, you know, what it looks like in different countries. Like, absolutely.
Yeah,
but that's an open market, real estate, staging a home. It makes a total difference when you're looking to buy a home and you walk in the home and it's completely empty. You can't, some people can't they can't see the visual. They can't see themselves in that home, and you know, with an empty space. And realtors will tell you it's better to have furniture in the home so that the people who are viewing the home can actually see a living space. And so it's really an open market that you're doing to be able to stage a home when you're trying to sell it.
Absolutely. And I know that, you know, virtual staging is big right now, but just for me, and like knowing the reaction that clients get when they walk into a home that's fully furnished, it's like you do the virtual staging, you get my hopes up, and then I walk into this space and it's empty. It's like, now I'm let down, you know. So maybe we've built that connection, you know, with the realtor, and, you know, I'm going to go through it because I like the house, but I just feel like it's not the same. Like, people like to see things that they can touch and feel and connect with. And that, you know, that's what you get their emotions involved. So that's really why I wanted to be in that arena. I love building homes. I love building homes.
So we get a lot of people that watch the show after the show is off. Okay. So I want everybody who does, I'm saying this at the beginning, so when you guys turn on the show, you can listen. We want to make her the celebrity designer. We want her to go into these celebrities' home, design them, and then put her on the bigger stage. Okay, we got to push for that. Okay, let's look at some more of your work. All right.
Absolutely. So,
wow.
So this one,
really cute.
This is thank you. So this is the daughter. So don't pay attention to that bed sheet. There's another. We actually put the cover on there. So this client, around Christmas time, I ran a promotion called the Little Dreamers Dream Rooms, where I was recreating dream rooms for, kids who dream, for kids who have this big imagination and wanted to feel like they were in that space of their imagination where they were creating. And so we had cozy corners. So this particular young lady, she loved rainbows, she loved stars and things like that, and she loved to read. So we created her a cozy corner. So we got that plush chair. We put her a little canopy around for her privacy when she wants, to just kind of engulf herself in it. And there's a rainbow that leads to her name. So I didn't send the picture with her name for privacy. But, we put like stars and everything. And she loves it. She has a little desk in the corner that she can do her work at. So she has her own space where she can work, sleep, whatever she needs to do, just like, adults need. Kids need the same thing. So we were doing
beautiful.
Yeah,
it is.
There it is, So where that space is above the rainbow, that's where her name went. We got a wall plaque for her name, and we just upgraded, and it feels luxury to her. And one thing I know parents can appreciate is when a kid gets a pretty room or a nice room, they might just keep it clean for a little bit. So because they don't want to mess nothing up. So mom can appreciate Little Dreamers Dream Rooms as well.
Look at that that light fixture there.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice. That's real nice. Here's another.
Yes.
Wow, privacy. I love it.
Oh, that's beautiful. Now that's an adult room right there.
Yes, this is a family room. Yep, it is a family room. We get furniture here. Now, this was a some custom project. So not everything. We got the rug from a store, but the furniture was custom made from Ashley Furniture. We picked out the pillows, not Ashley Furniture, Walter E. Smith. We picked out the pillows and just built the color scheme around this client. They wanted a fresh, up-to-date space, that was relaxing for casual, but it still looked good.
It does look good.
Yeah, the window treatments.
Very relaxing.
I love it. I love it. One more here.
Well, that's the previous bedroom, yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the living room for that room that you just saw. And I like this one because it kind of gives off that stage feel. It's white furniture, so everybody know not to sit on it in the first place, even though people do. But you got your cozy corner in the back. So if you just want to sneak away for a little bit next to the window, read you a good book, you can do that. But you can, if there are some people that want to relax on this, maybe the owners are the only ones that's really going to sit on that furniture, you can do that. But if not, it just looks good. It's good to have a space in your home that looks good. Beautiful. Yeah.
I got a room right now. Or you better not sit on my furniture. You can look at it.
Y'all can sit on my furniture.
No, not at all.
And one thing I want to bring to light about that room, just for people who don't know, so that furniture was actually just reupholstered. So, sometimes you think you got to go out and just buy new furniture. If you got some pretty good furniture, we just got the fabric and redid this furniture. The chairs in the back came from At Home, so they were, very inexpensive, but you can get you some fabric and reupholster and create a fresh look that way. Like, you just don't always have to start from scratch.
So you reupholster as well?
Absolutely not. We referred them. We picked out the fabric. I helped the client pick out the fabric, the material, talk about like durability, but the furniture at least she had for years. And as some of you all know, the furniture back in the day is way better quality than what it is today. Yeah. She was like, I don't want to get rid of it. And I'm like, you don't have to. Let's just buy some fabric and send it out to a reupholster, and it looks
that
good.
Is so crazy. You know what is so crazy? I have a home that I used to live in that I'm renting out now. And when I moved all my furniture out, I didn't want the couch and the love seat. And so it was leather and wood. The arms were wood. And you are so right. That furniture had to be at least 15 years old. And the tenants asked me if they could keep it, because I told them, I said, listen, you guys, you could put that out on the curb. Somebody will probably come by and get it. They were like, we want it. And they still have it to this day. They still have it.
It's good
I miss that
quality.
furniture. It was very unique. Very
I wish
unique.
you had met me. I said, let's just throw some new
Oh my
fabric on
gosh.
it, polish it up a little bit. Good as new, whole new set.
Yeah, and you know what? That's what I was going to do with it, and then I decided, you know what? I don't even want to, because I have reupholstered furniture before,
Okay.
so I could have done, and I bought the fabric, so I left the fabric. If they wanted to reupholster it, I left the fabric there. I bought leather fabric to reupholster it.
Okay.
So, but I just left it there. I told them if they didn't want it, they could throw it out on the curb or whatever. But they kept it, and they still have it.
But you was a blessing, so that was good. That probably knocked the whole chunk out of their stress factor. Like it probably so that's good. That's good.
So Shana,
yeah,
you when you do the work, they give you creative license to do whatever, right?
Yeah, most of them, yes.
Okay. So what about those that don't give you the creative license? What have you done? You've done some work, and they say, well, nah. So say you've done a lot of work. When they say, nah, I don't like that. Can you change this? Can you change that? How open are you to changing it? If they've given you creative license, how open are you to change it?
It depends on where we are in the process. So part of after the in-home consultation, I put everything together for you, and we sit down before we even start the work, and I say, this is what I think, this is what I picked out, these are the reasons why, what do you think? And so you have opportunity in that moment to tell me what it is you think, what you like, what you don't like.
Right.
I give you 2 to 3 options. If you have ideas, tell me now, because once the work starts, it's kind of hard to backtrack. It prolongs the process. Sometimes it takes us, over our budget, and then you want to blame me as the designer, and it wasn't my fault. We talked about this, so I tell people also, once I start sourcing and picking out the pieces or whatever place, don't shop, because if I'm spending hours sourcing furniture, putting it together on a presentation to show it to you, and then you say, oh, well, I was out and I thought this, like now our time is being wasted, and I haven't had any real issues with that yet. I've only had one client, and I started Stiletto Decor in maybe 2017. I've only had one client that I had to tell her that we couldn't work together. And it was just because she was picking everything apart that I was doing. And I'm like, well, you really don't want me here anyway. You hired me to do a job for you. And, and I don't like to be rude. And I had to pray really hard on that, because I didn't, I wanted the job. I wanted to do it, but you can't pick me apart. Either I'm the expert or I'm not. And if you know how to do it, then go ahead and do it, because I'm traveling, and I don't think people understand how long it takes to source furniture. Just looking on the website, making sure that the specs match, the dimensions, the quality, the return policy, the warranty. Like, I need to know all of that information to present to you. So for me to do all that work, and then you say, I want this instead, I don't know. Like, I'm grateful that I haven't had many opportunities where I had to tell people no, but you have time at the beginning to tell me what you like and dislike. Now, if we get something in the house and it just doesn't work, or you just decide that we both agree that you don't like it, and I can't tell you why you should keep it, then, we'll change it out. We can exchange whatever. I eat that, I'll exchange it depending on what it is, but you have time to tell me before we get into the nitty gritty.
Girl, I didn't get all this furniture in here. Get all this furniture in, and you bring that ugly ass vase in here. That has to go.
I showed you the vase before we even bought it.
Come on.
Have you ever had a room that you did not see a vision?
Good question.
Great question. So far, no. I don't, and let me tell you why, because my process is a little different. I sit down and I ask God to show me. When I get stuck, it's this one song that I play. It's called I Look to You by Tasha Cobbs. And in the beginning, she says, God, I look to you. I won't be overwhelmed. Give me vision to see things like you do. So if I get stuck, I sit down and I just pray and I play that music or whatever until he starts showing me. Now, sometimes there's been times that he just showed me the room, like, this is it. This is what you're going to do. And I've done it, to the T. But there's been other rooms where I'm like, I actually have to get in and start doing the work. Like sometimes you get like writer's block and you just stop. So if I'm stuck, I play the music. I have to physically sit down at my computer, pull up my planner and start, actually being in the motion. And then I'm like, oh, like that's what he meant. And, then I put it together. So, so far I haven't met a room that has knocked me off my square where I'm just like, you know what, maybe this ain't for me. I have not yet.
So have you ever had, and this is a shameless plug, I got to do this, but you only give one, because if you ain't giving me the money, you ain't getting no money. Have you ever had a, damn, I could have had a V8 moment?
Greg, I don't even know if I want to know what do you mean by that? Gina, do I want to know?
You just no, you actually just messed up the advertisement, but still, we're gonna let it go. V8, yeah, I did it.
You know
V8.
what? I think that would mean one of those moments where you may have gotten into the process and it didn't even look good.
And
it didn't look
good
right with you. It didn't. The vision
you
that
said,
you
man,
had,
why did I do this?
it's not there. That would be a wow, I should have had a V8 moment.
Thank you, Gina.
Look, sorry, that went right over my head, y'all. I haven't. There's a project that I did, and I didn't even send you the picture, Greg, and it gets so much conversation because it's not the normal. So when people see, interior design, they think that anything that is gray and clean and modern, like that's rich, it costs a lot of money. This particular client that I had, and she passed away in December, that broke my heart. God rest her soul. But her house was so unique. Everything was custom. Everything was big, elaborate, like very traditional, kind of old world. Could even give like Bridgerton vibes or whatever. And it was so pretty. Now this lady, she gave me her black card. She's like, Shana, I trust you, do what you want or whatever. Like she would approve certain things.
Ooh, that's
and
nice.
Let me tell you, it was nice.
I'd have bought a car.
We spent because then I'm gonna lose my business. Integrity. Still out of the court, operates in integrity. But it was one of those things like I love the space. She absolutely loved the space, and it got a lot of conversation because it wasn't, the normal. But sometimes I look at it and I'm like, I think about the things that I could have done differently in that project. And sometimes, even with my very first client, I may have liked it then. The client, Greg, ain't nobody thinking about you. I may have liked it then, but as I grow in my craft, I'm like, oh, I would do this differently. I would. And we eventually redid the space where we opened up we took the traditional swag down and, opened up the room a little bit more. And it was, I did like it. It gave a completely different look, but I just like, oh, I would do. But the client even said when we first did it, that's where she was in her life. Like she loved that stuff. But as years went on, she wanted something different. And I appreciate clients who know that just because you do something today don't mean that we want longevity. We want it to transcend time. But if you decide that you want to switch it up because life changes every day, you have the freedom to do so. And that's what I love most about it. I've been in my house 5 years. I've changed my living room 3 times. My daughter is on her 3rd bedroom, that's the fun part. You don't have to sit in one thing forever. If it's your space.
That's easy for you. That's easy for you because that's what you do. Like I can sit here right now with all of this equipment and stuff and make a video, a movie even real quick. I can do that, okay? But you can do that. I can't look. I walk in the house. I'm like, you know what? Whatever, okay. It is what it is. But
I'm such a vanilla person. I do not like to change my rooms around. I get into a place where I love it, and I'm there. I leave my husband moves furniture around. My skin crawls. Oh, I get so angry. Don't move anything. That's just the kind of person I am. I guess I should be more open to moving stuff around. That's just me.
Sometimes you just need a fresh look, but that's the beauty of it because there are clients who I don't want to have to touch this, so let's make it good the first time so we don't have to touch it. And there's other people who, want a fresh look. Like there are people who change out their color scheme every holiday. Christmas we doing green and red, fall we doing brown and orange, and that's okay. But when I first started out, my tagline was, creating designs that transcend time, because I wanted to work with people who just wanted to love it and never want to change it. But like I said, as I grow and get into my creative bag or whatever, it's fun. And I love allowing people or helping people see that you don't have to stick to this one thing. You can change it. You could do whatever you want. So there's so many different ways that this one space can be transformed that, let's do it. Like, that's what I'm here for.
Let's look at some more of these pictures here, okay? Did we do this one? No, we did that one.
Yeah, we did that one. I like that one.
Okay, what is this?
This is that bedroom with the rainbow. So I painted this wall.
I see it.
And sometimes, I looked at, she kept talking about how she loved the skies and how she loved the stars. And so I just stared at the wall for a minute and then it came. I painted the white first and I came back and did the blue. Then we put the rainbow applique over it. And I'm not a painter. I tell people all over, I'm not a painter, but sometimes I do get creative and I just want to do like a design on the wall or whatever. I'm not a stenciler, but I try to give an accent wall if I can. I love round cereal rugs.
This space here is really comfortable. This is a cigar room, right?
No, it's just the comfortable. It's actually a pastor and first lady's house. So no, it ain't no cigar room. This is the relaxation and meditation space.
Yeah, I can see that. It's a place where you would go to just quiet place, peace.
Beautiful backyard next to a window. You could just sit out, stare, read if you want to. Just really like clear your mind. Like that's what this space is.
Just chilling. What do we have here?
Oh, wow, you did that?
Yep, this is another accent wall. Now this is funny because we painted this wall a couple different times trying to get the right green, and we ended up with this green. And I used tape, and I just kind of let my mind tell me how to tape. Like I don't have a stencil. I'm like, oh, we should connect it here, we should connect it there. But I said, well, let's use gold tape, and I used gold tape, taped it. I painted it first, and then taped it up with the gold, and this is what it came out. So, thank you. So
Shana, if I drop a bucket of quarters on the ground, you probably know how many I dropped. Well, you kind of artistic, ain't you? This is this is amazing.
That is so funny.
No, he didn't just call you autistic.
You know what's so funny? Like I'm gonna have to ask God about that because somebody else said that I have autistic tendencies. I'm like, well, what does that mean? I'm like, if that means I'm creative, then I'll take it.
It's creativity, but it's like, okay, Gina, roll with me. I like this room as well, but roll with me. You walk in the room, you ain't seeing that. I'm not seeing that. But Shana got this and she goes all around, and I'm like, wow, this. I like this room. I like this.
Yeah. So this is before I painted. Before we this is how I taped it off with the blue painter's tape. Because I don't even know which one I was going. No, that's the green room. This is the before.
This is one of the paint jobs, really? I like that.
That's just how I taped it. And it was so funny because the client was there initially when I started doing it, and like my juices weren't flowing, and she left. And when she came back, she said, girl, you did that quick. I'm like, it just came to me. Like I just was like, let's tape it up real quick and knocked it out.
Like a pool table should be in there.
Yes, yeah.
Some of those big those cushy seats, you know, those little round cushy seats that people sit on the game with.
Yes,
I think that's what I see in that room.
This is the game room. Okay, that's Rain. That's Rain Woman. That's Rain Woman, not Rain Man. That's Rain Woman.
I appreciate it. This is the room where so this is the basement of the room that you just saw. So this space is for the kids. That upstairs is for the adults. This is for the kids.
What? That's not for no kids.
So these new kids, they different. So these kids, entrepreneurs, you know, they need the nail salon and the hair salon in their space. And
I see, girl. That's my granddaughter. We did this in 1 week.
1 week.
And that's so crazy because that's how I did her room. She has a pink nail table though, and a chair just like that, but it's pink. She was into all this pink. And she got this little pink fluffy rug on the floor. And so, yeah, I can see that. Now that you said that the nail stuff is right there. Yep.
And that back one is a hair salon blow dryer. They take, I talked to the girl, the kids use it every day. We created, that was their Christmas present. They got the whole basement redone. So it's like, there's a game section for the boys. There's a movie section. There's a concession stand. It's the whole gamut. We did it in 1 week. I don't recommend trying to transform a space in 1 week. That was the one that probably had me like, Lord, am I really supposed to be doing this? But the end result was like,
that's when you needed that V8.
Is that what that meant? Okay. Yeah. But it was fun though. Like, and I was happy to create that space for the kids. I was happy to create that space for the mom. You know, like that was all she really wanted to gift her kids for Christmas. She's like, they just need their own space. And we did it and we knocked it out and they were so happy. So that's a reward for me. Like the pictures are good. Being able to tell people I do it are great, you know, but being able to be like, dang, like they were really happy, you know, and I was able to bring that. That makes me happy.
Yeah, that's
so how would I'm gonna throw a what if out there?
Please do.
How would you transform a bedroom from a teenager that goes off to college and now the parent wants that room as a relaxation space, but they want to also have that space when that teenager comes home from college, back and forth to college.
Great question. Y'all making me think. So, and I'm glad that you mentioned that they want the kids to come home, right? Because I think that's important. If it's just a lounge space, you have to get transitional furniture. Like there's so much furniture that is not just one piece. It's not just a sofa. It's a sleeper sofa. They even have ottomans nowadays that transform, into sleeper sofas. They have Murphy beds. I know it's old school, but Murphy beds are still popular. The beds that fold up, so it looks aesthetic when the bed is up. You can get something that has like bookshelves and things on it. You just have to really be intentional about selecting the right transitional furniture.
You can do that.
Yes, absolutely.
The Murphy bed for real?
You can get a Murphy bed right now. Like there's certain furniture stores like Wayfair may carry them. I'm sure there's other places, but you just get furniture that transit, like how we did that home office. It looks like just a regular love seat, but it lets out into a sofa, or into a sleeper bed.
That would be great for cheaters. You roll that girl back up in the bed. You know what I'm saying? And the other girl come in, she would not even know.
Now, the other's gonna be that kicking and screaming and making all kind of noise.
Right.
I would really encourage that, and or encourage people to look at other rooms in their house that they may not be using. So there's a lot of times we have rooms, and maybe you don't, maybe you're in an apartment, but even the client that I'm working with now, I told her she wants a desk in her bedroom. And I'm like, that's fine if that's how you want to work, but if we can find another space in your, home to make that, let's utilize the space. Let's utilize the space in your home. You don't just have to have a big living room with only living room furniture. Let's section it off. This can, they have the can't even think straight right now. A lot of rooms are multi-use. You just have to know how to set the furniture right so it looks like it. So where else if we can't find it, we're gonna go with transition furniture.
And those I use those rugs. Like I decorated my daughter's apartment when she moved to Vegas, and that was the it's like an abstract rug too, and it just goes, it flows. It really flows with just about any kind of furniture you use.
Yeah, and let me tell you how much I appreciate you saying that, Gina, because this is one of the style of rugs that I absolutely love to work with. But there are some people who like it looks old, it looks too traditional. But I'm like, it's really not traditional. It's transitional. What that means is it's kind of traditional, but it's also kind of modern and up to date. Like you can use it in any room.
Those are expensive rugs, aren't they?
No, but they look like it though.
They do. Not. I bought my son one for his living room, and he loves it.
Good quality. They last.
I use them all the time.
I love them.
Those are what I was talking about in that other room, in the game room.
Yep. And what's so funny, the lady who I decorated for, she's got 3 kids. She said they sleep on that. She said, girl, they don't even go in their bedrooms no more. They pop right down on those.
Comfortable.
Huge and comfortable. We had to get the extra large and put them in there. And so this is like the media room. On the other side of this, there's a flat screen TV with all their, equipment, movie stuff, fireplace.
And that's a place to sleep when they have their friends over. That's an extra sleeping area.
All the kids, there was like 2 to a and they're smaller kids, but it was like 2 to a bean bag.
Wow, that's a lot of kids.
Yeah.
Well, this is nice.
That's the office. Yep, that's just a different angle. Custom window treatments, and so we talk about, working with any budget, right? These accessories came from Ross. Like, I'm not trying to spill all my beans, but Ross has beautiful accessories that look luxury. These window treatments came from blinds.com. This is the client.
So loving that wall, that design on the wall. That is so awesome.
That's
I've
another
never seen a wall like that. And then it just ties into the light in the ceiling.
Yeah. And that's another one God just showed me. Like, and this, so this is, I did put the painter's tape, the gold tape, and then put the LED lights and everything on the shelves and stuff like that. But she had a lot of books. We were trying to figure out, like, she has so many books. I said, well, you just we got to make it work in here. So we're going to put some shelves on the wall. We're going to get some cute bookshelves. You see, we lined them along the window ledge over there. So we just had to make it work,
Shana, you be putting in work, man, for real.
I do. This is that same room right there. This is the opposite angle. Yeah.
Wow. You really have to have a vision, because when you have a blank space, everybody can't see that vision. They really can't.
They can't. And I appreciate when people say like, oh my God, like I had no idea, like this looks good, like when they can see the difference, because some people don't, a lot of people don't, and I think that's the importance of, hiring a designer, or even just seeing the value. I feel like in my earlier years, I would always question myself, like, do people really see the value in hiring a designer? And a lot of people think that, I can decorate, I know how to put it together. And I'm like, that's great. But I'm like, it's so much, strategy and just making sure that things are functional. And I think that's the importance of bringing a vision to life, but also making sure that it makes sense, because you got to be here every day. You don't want to be.
I'm gonna tell you, I decorated my house, but I would not decorate someone else's. I just wouldn't. I can do my own.
That's her passion.
And I had an insurance guy come in, and he looked around. He said, who did you get to decorate your house? And Robert was like, she did it. And he was like, really? But I would not dare do it with someone else's home. I'm so serious, because I just feel like I know what I like. And I know that by the time I get done with what I'm doing, I'm going to like what I put together. But I don't know that this person is going to like it. And my feelings would really get hurt.
Right. Listen, sometimes you just got to trust yourself, or, I think that it is a gift though. And sometimes people just need somebody to help them get started too. Like maybe it is just a color palette or whatever. Maybe it's just about, how do I set this furniture up? And that even ties into the staging, especially like when you're staging homes that people already live in, it looks good to how you sit there, but like now I have to make sure that it appeals to somebody else. And this setup, we might just need to change the furniture. And I've had somebody hire me just to change the furniture around when we were in COVID, and she had to make her living room, her office, and her dining room. She's like, how can I just make it so I don't feel all cluttered in my brain? And we just moved the furniture around a little bit, put this picture here, open this space up, and like she loved it. And so,
and you have to know certain things. I don't know if you went to school for this or not. I feel like you did, but you have to know that dark colors make a room smaller, bright colors make a room look larger, and those are the things that you have to know, because if you're walking into a small room and you put dark colors in there, then the room is going to look smaller. So those are some of the things that you have to know when you're going. And I'm pretty sure there's other things that you have to know when you go into a room and you're trying to put a vision out there.
Room look higher, how to make the windows look higher so it's not congested. And it's funny that you say that, because the ladies whose office I did, so she has her brick and mortar spa, but one of her rooms, because she wanted the elevated, the luxury look, she did all black, so black is kind of, it's sexy, it kind of gives luxury. But she was like, when I'm in this space, she said, now I realize why I feel tired all the time, because when we were initially picking out her furniture, I gave her 2 color palettes. I gave her one that was lighter and one that was a little bit darker. And she's like, after you told me about the darker color, she said, that makes sense why I'm always tired, when I'm in my spa and I want to leave, and so she's like, so we're not doing that in my house. I don't want that. So that's why we ended up choosing the lighter color palette. So like even details, like, it looks good.
I'm sure you have to educate them on those things as you're going through that process.
You have to, because otherwise people just go with what looks good. And I'm like, it doesn't always make sense. And then you start to realize over time, like how it affects your mood. And there's even a color psychology, lighting psychology, having so much natural light versus, other types of light. So it all plays a factor. You need to know that.
Shane, before we get out of here,
do you still do one last question? I'm sorry, because I didn't get into it. Do they still do the accent walls? Or was that just a trend?
I feel like it was more trendy. I think it depends on your client. Like for me personally, I've done it. I do it more now with like younger kids, like in the Little Dreamers dream rooms. I think it's more popular there. I think it depends on your client and what room you're doing and what you're trying to create. Like an accent wall may still be needed in a bedroom, or if you have like the coffer ceilings or the tray ceilings, like people like different accent colors in those spaces. But as far as just like, I personally don't think you always need it. I think they look better in smaller rooms, and you want your other rooms to look, more elevated, the luxury, high end. I love to use the word high end. I think there's such a misinterpretation, and it doesn't mean that you spent a lot of money, but it's like, what's the higher end look versus, I just did this on my own because I wanted to paint a wall. I think there's a difference in what that looks like. So, like I would do an accent wall bedroom, like a little office, and it doesn't have to just be paint, so that's why I started using tape. I didn't just want a painted wall. I wanted some extra designs and lines and stuff in there. So wallpaper, y'all know I love wallpaper. Like I learning it's not my ministry,
Ooh,
but I'm
really?
I
always felt wallpaper was out.
I love wallpaper. Like I think it's just a different look to an accent wall. Don't just paint it. Put some wallpaper on it. I put wallpaper if I can everywhere.
I heard that.
Ooh, I don't know. I wouldn't let you in my house with wallpaper.
I'm gonna do a.
Now though, it's not even like back in the day, like the styles that they have. Even just they have solid colors but different textures. It just. They got wallpaper that look like your blinds in the back, just kind of got the ridges in them. It's so beautiful. Look, we need to go wallpaper shopping one day, Gina. I'm gonna make you love it.
You do that. You do
yes.
that. Make sure you do. Shana, thank you for coming on the show, hanging out with. I know it's short notice, man, but you came through, okay. And the best part about it is that you love what you do and you're able to talk about it so vividly, And the pictures were amazing, and I know that's not even touching the surface of what you do.
Man,
thank you.
The transformation is amazing.
Thank you. I appreciate you thinking about me and reaching out to me and calling me and having me on here, give my design spiel. And Gina,
you good. You good. You good. What you do though, for real, and I think I led the show off with this, is that as a real estate broker, you're selling people's houses, but man, when you go in there and they see nothing, or they see the previous owners furniture, and you go in there and say, hey, I can transform this just to suit you.
Yeah.
I mean, you're a double threat with this real estate game. Okay, so hey, man.
Listen, to God be the glory. The more I learned how to do it, the more I just kept seeing the vision expand, and so I'm super grateful for that. And I cannot wait to just really start posting the houses and allowing people to just see, like, not only do you need this house, but let me tell you what you could do once you get in this house, like the whole
exactly.
Grateful. That's good.
God is amazing. Okay, thank you, Shana.
Yes.
Dina, you got anything you want to say?
You're doing an amazing job.
Thank you. I
follow you. Not you.
Oh, you talking about?
I follow you, Shana, and I see her transform these rooms, and you could tell the love that she puts in it. You could tell the passion that she has for it, and I think that makes a huge difference too. Because I mean, this is just your niche. You just found your niche.
I appreciate it. It really makes me happy. Like it makes me happy, and it makes my clients happy. But I'm happy.
That's right. Makes us happy too. Hey, don't forget, everybody. 2 weeks, the Relationship Roundtable Live is coming up. And Shana, you went to the one at DK. This one is at the Loft Luxury Suites, I called it. It's the Ultra Lounge, the entertainment suites. This is the one that we do with the panel. All right. Okay. I invite you there as well. Okay, everybody come through.
Listen, I told you put me on the panel. I got some stuff to say that ain't about that.
I would put her on the panel on the 30th. That would be good.
Yeah. Put you on the panel on 30th. But this is a free event. We're making it free this time. Okay, we're going to be taking this on the road too, but we want to hear in our hometown of Gary, Indiana. This is where we're from. All of us are from on the show. And we want to make sure that our people can come through, express themselves, talk about relationships, talk about the things that bother them, talk about the things that don't bother them, talk about whatever you want in these relationships with the panel. And then when you get done with the panel, the following week, it's at D&K. Where is it at? D&K Soul Food 369 Broadway. We got one that's for, it's more freer. It's more interactive. I'll put it like that. Everybody's there. Mm-hmm. Everybody's talking to each other. Yeah, we may ask a question, but like I said yesterday, it gets deep. It gets a little bit deeper. It gets a little bit more, I ain't gonna say violent, but it gets a little bit more vocal. All right. But come through, man. We are really pushing the initiative with these relationship roundtables. We want to get them out there to the people so that they can express themselves. We need forums like that so that people can really talk and get it out. It was really good. I really enjoyed myself, and it's great to hear, just like the different perspectives, and even you had older people, you had younger people, so just to hear like the different mindsets
how people navigate relationships. Like, it was really cool, and the food was excellent. So I was thinking,
Man,
it was
let's
so
not
good.
get on that food. We'd be here another hour talking about that food, okay?
Yes,
But yeah,
like, it was really good.
and that's the whole thing with the one at D&K. You know, we want everybody, old, young, whomever, to come through and express themselves. Okay, the panel is more corporate. I'll put it like that. It's more corporate, but you know, the D&K, man, look, bring your mama, your daddy, your uncle, everybody. Come out there and you know, just enjoy yourselves and have a good conversation with each other. Like I said, Shana was there, and man, you know, we do our
It was
thing.
good to hear the different perspectives. You know, all the it really got me to thinking some of you know, because some of the comments I never had thoughts like that, and so to hear the different perspectives, it just kind of opens your mind to you know, really view things in a different way.
Yep. And Arizona will be on there, Natalie. Trust me. I got some things going on that you never tell everybody everything that you're doing, okay? But
I got to get another book.
Yeah, of course, another nasty book, but it's cool. It's cool.
And a tape measure.
And yeah.
And it ain't for measuring walls and sofas.
And see, that's the inside joke, but we can open it outside. So look, at the last, we got what, 5 minutes? At the last relationship roundtable at D&K, Gina had a date night pack, okay? And in that date night pack, Gina, say everything but that one item that was in the date night pack.
There was a $50 gift card.
Yes, it was.
There was a romance book by author Natalie Murphy. Murphy. There was a poem book by Robert. What's Robert's last name? The book is called Fame, and there was a tape measure.
No, I told you not to mention the tape measure.
Oh, you said don't mention. Sorry.
Yeah, but I'm because I have a story for the tape measure. So y'all, that's a date night bag, okay? So all of that was there, and then Gina threw in a tape measure in the date night bag, and that itself, that became one of the questions, okay? That became one of the things to talk about. The why is there a tape measure in a date night bag? I would stand up and tell you guys and explain to you why there was a tape measure, but y'all use your heads, use your imagination. When we come to D&K, bring that tape measure again, Gina. Bring it again. We're gonna question. That question will be a recurring question each time we come. Why would you put a tape measure in a date bag?
Well, why did I have a romance book? Why did I have a poem book? And his
Natalie Murphy.
Natalie
Murphy.
Robert Horton.
Natalie, she had a tape measure in the bag, Natalie. In the date night bag, along with your book.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yes.
The plot.
I'm gonna leave it at that. Shana Jenkins,
who knows what's going to be in the next one? Who knows?
Shana, you are an amazing designer, amazing author, amazing entrepreneur. You're an amazing mentor, because I know you still talk to these people and these women and try to tell them the ways of womanhood. You're an amazing individual. Okay, God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. Thank you for coming on the show and hanging out with us.
Thank you for having me. God bless you. I appreciate you, Gina. You know I love you. I feel like family.
I love you too.
I'm so grateful. Greg, I love you too. You and all your crazy. I wouldn't take you any other way.
Why do most jealous? Be crazy? I'm always jealous. Crazy. I'm always jealous when everybody get the accolades and I don't get them. Okay, but make sure you guys you
take them and you went somewhere else with them. We feel it. We just can't always tell you because you're gonna just go somewhere else. But I appreciate
right.
Hey, Natalie says she loves tape measure. But Shana, you keep doing what you're doing, okay? And hopefully, when you guys look, her name is Shana Jenkins. She's on Facebook. You can get all of her information off of there. You can contact her that way. I hope you guys do. People that are looking for her. I know the economy's bad right now, right? But check out Shana.
It's not bad for everyone. I see people out there shopping, buying furniture, buying cars. It's not bad for everyone. People are
Yeah.
still
Listen, if
making
you
those
on another
purchases.
lockdown,
Did
y'all gonna
you-
need to stay to quarantine too. You want to make sure that you in your right mind when you stuff. I ain't speaking that into existence. I'm just saying, like, you want to make sure that the
Nah.
state that you are in is peaceful in case whatever happens over these next 4
Absolutely.
years. So you might as well knock
Because
it out the park now.
because Mr. Trump, President Trump said he don't care about the Americans' finances right now. He don't care about it. He said, this is what he said. I don't care about American finances. He said, I'm concerned about them having that's another whole story too. Okay, but hey,
Yes,
man,
it
look,
is.
woo boy, tomorrow, man, the Hunter, whatever you call it, virus. We're gonna talk about that. Why should we? Why are we not doing more to get knowledgeable to this? Should we be afraid? We got a whole bunch of stuff. I'm gonna try to get somebody on here that's doctorified, so they can talk to us and let us know some things. Okay, they say we shouldn't be worried, but it's a virus. As soon as you put virus behind it, you worry. Okay, we're gonna talk about that tomorrow, and we hope to see you guys tomorrow too. Shana, again, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Love
you,
y'all.
Shana.
Bye.
Love
See
you.
I love you.
All right, it's
See you
Dope Living
later.
TV Live. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.
Whether in the house or outside, you know that we gon' do it. Make a wrong decision, turn around and still get through it. When you say the name, you know it's us and what we doing. So turn it on and let the bass get booming. Hey, yeah. Dope Living TV. Dope Living TV. Dope Living TV.